So today we're going to find out something a little bit different. I've changed the name of the channel a little bit. You know, it's a brand new channel, or almost brand new. And so I began just recently getting updates on my analytics through the channel, through YouTube. And a funny thing, I didn't make the connection before, but people were searching for air travel, and of course finding WeGo Air, which is, you know, I mean, fortunately a few still stopped and watched, which is good. But I realized that where I wanted to take the channel, not a good idea to, I'm showing confusion that way, so I've changed the name a little bit. Now it's WeBreatheAndGo.com, and the channel is We Breathe and Go. And I'm really happy about it because it caused me to look at a whole bunch of things over the last, well, it was a 3-day weekend, and I really looked over things hard. So the first thing was that the analytics. I've changed it. I've changed it. It's over. That is taken care of. I thought it was better to do it now than later because, like ripping off a Band-Aid, just get it over with and done and move on. So I did that, and then I discovered I don't even know how I came across it, but I discovered a new universe of breath work, they call it, programs and devices and software and equipment and all this business, and which I thought was really very interesting, and I became captivated by it. In fact, I learned a lot. And I realized that I just don't have the tools or the expertise to really do what I would like to do on this channel. But I just don't have the ability. But what it did open my eyes to is that there are people out there who are entirely capable of producing excellent breathing exercises for people. And I mean, they're very, very well qualified. They've got the schooling and the certifications and all this. I mean, they've just done it all. And I'm just an old broken down drywall contractor. You know, my heart is in the right place. The purpose, my motivation for doing this is I want to help people. And because I know what I went through, and I'm seeing it happen. I have a friend right now who has a relative just found out, just went into the hospital and just found diagnosed with COPD, and I know what they're going to go through. I know exactly what they're going through, and I know the depression they must feel, because the last time I saw, they were in pretty good shape. You know, and it really wasn't that long ago. But I also know how this disease can go. I mean, you're okay one day, and the next day you're done. And my heart is in the right place because I want to help this person. And there are millions just in the same shape. So the breathing is the most important thing. But right after you start breathing, though, the next most important thing is you got to get up and move. And I learned that in pulmonary rehabilitation. The very first thing they did was they taught me to breathe, and they spent like, my first appointment was learning how to breathe, how to count it. I had about 45 minutes with a respiratory therapist who sat and worked with me and just taught me how to breathe. And it was the most beautiful thing. I learned how to breathe, and it was that session that turned the corner for me. Before I wanted to get up, and I had changed my diet just a week before, but you know, it hadn't had time to kick in yet. I hadn't weighed myself yet. I mean, none of this, but my attitude had changed. I did realize I wanted to change my. I knew I couldn't continue like I was, and I knew that nobody was going to help me, and so I had to change myself, which is why I contacted the doctors and I initiated this chain of events, which got me into the pulmonary rehabilitation, which changed my life dramatically. There. That being said, after the first session, they moved into the exercises because you need to learn how to breathe so you can supply oxygen to your body while you learn to exercise and regain the mobility that you've lost from the COPD. Because what happens when the COPD kicks in is it's tiring to get up and do things. So you lay, you just stop moving, and then your muscles begin to atrophy even more, and then it's even more tiring to get up and do things, and then you sit even more, and this vicious cycle turns into a death spiral. And it is a true death spiral, because if it continues, you will die just from inactivity. And I had well, long story short, this is what you got to do. And so when I created this channel, I wanted to be breathing at first, but then mobility is second. That's, we breathe and we go. This is how it goes. So what I've done is I've contacted some affiliate partners that are in the space of providing breathing and exercising opportunities, and they're very well trained, and I'll have them worked out here soon. I've already begun talking with them, and when I do get it all worked out, I'll make sure and publish the work on the site here, on the channel. But in the meantime, I wanted to talk about two things. I really, for people our age, I know from the analytics our age, I ran across something. I don't know how in the world I missed it, but for almost 100 years in Japan, every day the entire country wakes up and they go into about 3 to 5 minutes of exercise. The whole country does this, and they call it Radio Taizo. And they've got, 100 million people do this every day together, and I never heard of it. So I began to research, trying to find videos, because older people were doing this. It's low impact. It's just basically get you up and moving safely. So we learn to breathe, and then we need to move. We need to get things moving, and so we keep our blood flowing and keep our joints loose. We'll enjoy life a whole lot more. And it led me to excuse me. It led me to searching for some kind of alternative, and then I remembered, this is one good thing about being this old, I remembered Jack LaLanne. Remember Jack LaLanne? So I found I went to YouTube and I found Jack LaLanne on YouTube. Wow. What a wonderful, wonderful experience that was. And I remember as a kid, I remember thinking, who in their right mind would want to do that? It's so stupid. It's just, but I was really young. I could just get up and bounce around all day long. Well, here I am, into my 60s, and I look at Jack LaLanne like this guy had it together. And I remember everybody looked at him like he was a kook. This is how old I am. He was a kook. He was crazy for doing what he was doing. Who's going to do that? Who's going to eat like that? Who's going to do that every day? And turns out that he was pretty smart. And, he lived to be 96 years old. And the smart Alex among us will say, well, why didn't he live to 97? Well, you know what? He just happened to live to 96, but I saw a video of him at 96, and let me tell you what, he was just fine. We can all go at any time. He was in better shape than I am at 96. And anyway, So I decided on the format of the video content that I'm going to produce. I'm gonna shoot 2 a week. I don't know what days yet. I need to shoot it at a certain time. I'm thinking in the morning, and I'm in Springfield, Missouri, so I'm centrally located. So if I start something at say 9 o'clock, it'll be mid morning on the East Coast and fairly early morning on the West Coast. So it's not too awful bad, and it'll fit in with my schedule good. And I'm gonna do a 5 or 10 minute video, and I'm going to do a Jack LaLanne type of exercise regimen on one, and then on the next video in the same week I'll do some breath work, and we'll and also I found an app I found an app that custom designed, and I'll get the information for y'all. You download the app, it's free, and you can design the app as far as how long for the breath intervals, and it's got a little, remember the old bouncing ball on songs? So it's got a similar thing, like this is for breathing, and so anyway, and the idea is going to be I'm going to continue to produce free content, and the way I'm going to earn money on this channel is I'm already halfway there with some of this stuff. I'm going to be affiliated. I'll get a small commission for every sale I make. And so, for instance, if you bought a product or a service from one of these companies, I'll get credit for it. I'll get a piece of it, and that'll be my part of my salary, so to speak. And then the other way is I haven't done it yet. I intend to do it though. I'm going to put a buy me a coffee button somewhere in the YouTube and on my website somewhere, because we all need money to go, and I'm not here to get rich. I'm here to help people, but at the same time, if I can't be here to help people because I can't do whatever I need to do, then some people are going to suffer. And I already know this because I've had people tell me that they've already gotten good benefit, and I don't want money from them. I don't want the money unless they can afford it, but if they can't afford it, I don't want it. I'm not here to push and pry and cajole. I just want people to get better, because I know how much it means, because we're here to serve our fellow man. That is our purpose in life. And it took me over 60 years to figure that out. I mean, I thought I understood before, and I kind of followed it. I mean, I was married and had a family, and I had customers in a business, and we did good. But then when I was struck down with this whole business, I did not know how to cope. My family didn't know how to cope. We moved across the country. It violently upset our lives. But in retrospect, it was totally necessary, because I needed to be snapped out of a complacent state. I hadn't been living right, and I am now. I watch my diet. I watch my exercise. It's so very important to help our fellow man. So I'm going to hang it up for today, but just so y'all know, new stuff is coming out. Tomorrow I have 2 different doctor's appointments tomorrow. Both of them are big. I'm hoping to be released to exercise. This is the other thing. I've been prevented because I had a major surgery just 3 weeks ago, and I'm not supposed to do very much. And I'm hoping to be released tomorrow to slowly begin building back up, because